Hey there, thanks so much for stopping by. In this video, I'd like to share with you some things that I picked up from the Disney store. The stuff in this haul is actually all from 2 or 3 shopping trips that I did, and I decided to put it all in one video because I honestly didn't pick up a lot of things each trip. I just picked up like a couple of things really, nothing more than 5, and so I thought it's going to be pretty short of a video if I just showed you what I got in one trip. So I decided to put it all together to make it a much longer video. Some of the things will include some Christmas merchandise, and then you'll see a couple of items that are from a much more recent merchandise release. I would like to start off by sharing with you some discounted Christmas merchandise that I picked up. Now that I think about it, actually all of them were discounted Christmas merch. When I first saw them at the Disney store back in November, like the first time they were released in the stores, I thought they were adorable, as always. The Christmas merchandise at the Disney store is always like top quality, looks amazing. It has not disappointed me once. And I especially appreciated the art style or the design of the characters that came out. It had a very nostalgic feel. Vintage is a huge thing now, especially at Tokyo Disney Resort. It reminded me a lot of the short film Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas, if I remember it correctly. I don't know what it is about the aesthetics of that film. The way the characters were drawn, the way they were animated, the way they looked, their style was so appealing and so charming to me. So that kind of style, to my surprise, was very similarly depicted in the Christmas merchandise. So I especially loved that. The main reason why I couldn't see myself purchasing much or really any of the Christmas merchandise when it came out at the Disney store was the price tag. And you'll see what I mean when I share with you the original price and then how much I actually got it for. The other reason why I didn't really purchase much of the Christmas merchandise from the Disney store was because a lot of my winter budget went into my Tokyo Disney Christmas shopping trip. I'll be doing a series of videos on that haul because it was a lot of stuff that I got because I love the winter holiday at the parks, and I especially love the Christmas season. It's like the season where I probably spend the most amount of money. And I filmed the first video of that haul series, and I'll leave a link to that in the description so you can check that out if you're interested. So anyway, let's get started with the Christmas merchandise first. And the first couple of items I want to share are these Christmas coasters. The characters that were depicted in the Christmas merchandise lineup were Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Chip and Dale. Neither Goofy nor Pluto were featured in this year's merchandise, so I found that a little surprising, to say the least. Usually they're more likely to, be grouped with Mickey and Minnie, especially Donald and Daisy. More so likely than Chip and Dale, but Chip and Dale seem to be a bigger feature this year. They also had a Daisy coaster. I just picked up Mickey, Minnie, and Donald, and I will give you a closer look of them right now. Here's Mickey. He is depicted as being Santa in this merchandise series. It is of great quality, and I especially like that it is not like a flat design. It's kind of hard to tell, but the snowflake, it's cut into the coaster itself, and the coaster is made of a rubber material, so all the snowflakes are cut into the coaster itself. That's what I mean by it's not a flat design. Here's Minnie. Minnie is looking as sweet as usual, and she is in this pose because it's meant to go side by side with Mickey, so you can see how they go well together. Mickey's kind of giving her a gift, and Minnie is wooing about that present from Mickey. I thought they looked really sweet together, which is why I picked them up. I really love Mickey and Minnie paired up more than like Minnie or Mickey by themselves. And the last coaster that I picked up is, of course, my bias, Donald. He is holding all the presents and he's looking pretty happy doing that. You'll notice that a lot of the designs include a plaid sort of pattern going through them. And this is quite a common concept or art concept that's been happening in much more recent Christmas merchandise from the Disney store or Tokyo Disney. One coaster was originally priced at 700 yen plus tax, which comes to about like $6 or $7 US, depending on the exchange rate. And as much as I loved it when it first came out, I couldn't see myself dishing out $7 for like a rubber coaster. If I wanted all three of them, that means I would have had to dish out like at least $20 on all three coasters, and I was like, nope. So I made myself wait for the sale. And the Disney store will always have a sale on almost any merchandise line. There are a few exceptions where they're like limited edition or like limited release sort of thing. But 2 months later, like 90% of the time, much of the seasonal merchandise will go on sale. And they usually start off at like 20 to 30% off. Sometimes they'll go to 50% off from the get-go. When it was time for the Christmas merch to get on discount, it came to a 50% sale. So I picked these up so fast because it's like, I can totally justify spending $3 on a coaster now, not $7. So all these came out to, in total, less than $10. And that was much happier for my wallet and my mentality. The next one is a big item. Would you call this an ugly sweater? I understand the whole ugly Christmas sweater thing in that it's a very busy design and it's something that you normally wouldn't want to wear outside of your house, but for the life of me, I can't see myself defining this as an ugly Christmas sweater, even though yes, the design is super busy. Yes, you probably shouldn't be wearing this outside of the house, but I thought it was just so cute when I first saw this. And maybe this is not new to you because this actually came out in America. So when I first saw this at the Disney store, I was really shocked to see that they had imported merchandise from America. Most of the time, Japan hardly ever gets US merchandise. Because it was imported, you can imagine that it wasn't a cheap thing. Came out to like about 5,500 yen if I remember it correctly, which comes out to about $50 at least American. Yeah, that's a lot for one sweater, especially after doing some research and seeing that the price that it was being sold for in America was like going for $35 and in some cases lower than $20 at Target. And then the sale happened. 5,500 yen went down to about 2,800 yen. Yes, I can totally get on board with that. And I actually had to dash to the store to make sure I was able to get a hold of it because this was going out so fast online. And I don't like really buying clothes online because I don't get to see, you know, like the material that it's made of. My first Disney ugly sweater, and it is one of Minnie Mouse. I thought she was so sweet. There is of course one of Mickey, and he was aimed more for like the guys. They had it in guy sizes. This one was catering to women. What I especially love about this sweater is the fact that there are sequins for the white stripes, and the border down here shows a lot of Christmas elements like candy cane and holly. And I especially love this soft green. This green doesn't really clash with the red, so I appreciated that they had more than like one shade of green. There are snowflakes scattered throughout the body of the sweater, and I really like that there's like falling snow pattern here. It's always nice to see that sort of nod to snow on a Christmas design. And the back is much more simple because it doesn't have Minnie's face on it. Rather, it has just that simple pattern of falling snow, and the bottom has the same border as the front. Such a classic but adorable design, and I was so happy to get my hands on something that was an imported American Disney merch, especially at half price. Because I got this way after the Christmas season ended, I didn't really have a chance to wear this, so I will be looking forward to wearing this come next Christmas season. The next thing I want to share with you is from the same Christmas merchandise lineup, lights and ornaments. I believe this is a Japan exclusive. I don't think I've seen this being sold outside of Japan. The tag is a hint. This is the design for the Christmas merchandise at the Disney store. It has the same Mickey and Minnie from the coasters that I showed you earlier. So this is an LED ornament, and I thought it was really interesting when I first saw this because normally the Japan exclusive merchandise for the Christmas event, they don't really do their own like Christmas ornament thing. Most of the time they would sell the same ornaments that you can find at the American Disney store, so it would be imported. So I kind of freaked out a little when I saw something like this. The original price of this light up ornament was 1,400 yen, or about 13 to 14 US dollars. I love this for two reasons. The first being it's in the shape of a Mickey head, and it really reminds me of those hidden Mickeys. The second reason is that it lights up. So magical. And they had released not just one color, but 3 different colors. They had released a pink one, here's the blue one. I removed the tag to give you a better look of what it looks like without the paper getting in the way. And a yellow one. I wanted all 3 because I thought they just looked so good together. That would come out to about like $45. That is like halfway to a Tokyo Disney Park ticket. So I played the waiting game again for the Christmas sale. These came down to 700 yen each. That came out to about $20. Here's how all 3 look together. So pretty. So much magic happening in one shot. So the main reason why I got these is not just because I thought they were super magical and super awesome. I thought they would look great to deck out my shelves. I kind of want to add a little magic or bedazzle them or glam it up kind of thing. And I thought these would go perfectly. Like maybe for the blue one, they would probably go with Donald here because this is a Donald corner and Donald is largely blue, so maybe. Or I could put it here in my Beauty and the Beast corner because blue and yellow could complement each other. Honestly, haven't decided yet. I was also thinking maybe yellow because it matches that color scheme. The pink one would go here to go with the color palette that's going on here. I'm not so sure yet. I'm going to play around with the colors later on. If you have an eye for aesthetics or interior design, let me know what you think. There's another string of Christmas lights that I wanted to get, and I waited a little too late to get them, but fortunately they had it in stock online. And then I realized that, hey, if I order that online, I could also get something that I wanted to get at the Disney store but was also sold out, and the only stock available for that particular item or items were online. So I took the opportunity to get 3 things online. Now the awesome thing that happens when you order from the Disney store online is that your stuff gets sent to you in a box that has an original design that is exclusive to the Disney store online. And most of the time, the design will be of like either Tsum Tsums or University, because that concept is largely exclusive to the Disney store in Japan. So I was quite surprised to see that it was neither case. The design of the box that came in this time featured Frozen 2. Frozen 2 came out in Japan on the same day that it was released in America, and I thought that was also interesting because usually Disney movies come out a month or 2 later in Japan from the US release date. So for Frozen to come out on the same day as it did in America was very rare, was quite rare. Really the only time that the Japanese movies would have the same release dates as America is under 2 situations. 1, it's a Marvel movie, and 2, it has Johnny Depp in it. So first I want to share with you the other set of Christmas lights, again at an amazing discount of 50% off. This was originally priced at 2,500 yen plus tax. Came out to about 1,400 yen after discount. This is the box. You know it's part of the Christmas line because it has Mickey and Minnie here on the front. And at the back it has a lovely quote that says, "Winter wishes, it's the most magical time of the year." Let's open her up so I can show you exactly why I wanted to get this string of Christmas lights. Because each light is essentially a light up ornament, a mini light up ornament, and it is in the shape of a Mickey head. The color and the design is seriously mind-blowing. It's this beautiful rose gold metal, and it's in this net-like pattern so that the light can shine through. And it comes with, I believe, 10 mini ornaments. And again, very similar to the other Mickey light up ornaments, I wanted to deck out my shelves. So I thought, just because this was released as part of the Christmas merchandise doesn't mean that I can't use it all year round. And it doesn't scream Christmas colors. It's not red or green or even white and gold. It's rose gold. So I thought it would be great to use as an all year round kind of thing. And I'll just add a little bit more magic and sparkle to my shelves. I'm pretty excited to see how my shelves look after I put on some batteries here. This one takes 2 AA batteries and light it up. You'll probably see what it looks like in a later video. And the other two, I must confess, they are Tsum Tsums. Feels like they're starting to get more popular again. It's like they're being revived or something. And I say that because whenever I go to the stores now, and shortly after they are released, they quickly like either go out of stock or a particular character like sells out fast. And that is just unheard of because it's only been a month and they've already released 3 different lineups of Tsum Tsums. I don't think I've ever seen that happen in such a short amount of time since the time that Tsum Tsum really took off. Is Tsum Tsum coming back? And this can't happen to me because I went down that rabbit hole so hard. The new series came out this year and I just couldn't say no to picking up like 1 or 2. I'm not going to go crazy as I did back then, like where I had to get a bunch of them within a series. I'm probably just gonna limit myself to like one of my favorites or 2 of my favorites within the series, and that's what I did. So I picked up Tsum Tsums from 2 recent series, and I'll share with you the ones that first got sold out in the store, and so I had to order it online because that was the only stock available. Kafun series. Kafun is a Japanese word and it means pollen. Kafun really relates to the pollen allergy, and we are getting into the season of hay fever, so very appropriately they released Tsum Tsums that were suffering of pollen allergy. I thought that was hilarious because it's like Tsum Tsums experiencing the suffering of people? Yes! Okay. I picked up 2 of my favorites. It had to be the duckies because Donald, and I didn't want Donald to be alone, so I picked up his lady friend. This is so funny. Look at his expression. I just love characters when they're depicted in not like their usual expressions. You get a different side of them, like a different perspective. And he's wearing his striped PJs, and it's blue because it's Donald. Duck butt. Yay. He has this little nightcap here, and it's folded over because that's why he looks a little more sad than usual. I love that there's this one droopy brow, and that he has flushed cheeks, and that ever distinguishable red bow. He's so cute. And here's Daisy in a very similar style of striped PJs, and she has a frill, like a little skirt. She has 2 ribbons on the top. There's a ribbon on the top of her head, which is her usual bow, and then one on the back of her PJs. Like Donald, she also has a nightcap that droops over her eye, and she also has just that one droopy eyebrow. Duck butt for the win from the side. And this is what they look like together. So funny. I couldn't like not get this. And these were the ones that sold out the fastest among the characters of the Tsum Tsum Kafun series. So aside from Donald, they also had Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Goofy, and Chip and Dale. I believe that's all of them. And Mickey and Minnie had masks, and masks are like a very common thing in Japan, especially during hay fever season, because a lot of people wear masks to stave off the pollen allergy. For extreme cases, it sometimes feels like you are experiencing a pretty bad cold. Like there's a lot of sneezing, there's a lot of coughing, there's a lot of like hacking, and you feel lethargic and achy, and sometimes you can get pretty bad headaches or migraines. It can get pretty bad, which is why it makes sense that Donald and Daisy both look miserable. And I'm thinking they could probably go maybe here and here, right underneath the other spring Tsum Tsums. I think that's appropriate. The other Tsum Tsum is from the SAKURA series. SAKURA is Japanese for cherry blossom. It is very close to cherry blossom season now. I actually have an Donald Ufufi right here that I got either last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. And I thought, since they're doing Tsum Tsums this year, I might as well pick one up as well to go with my Ufufi. So this is Donald, obviously, and I only picked him up. There's a whole bunch of other characters that were released at the same time. I'll be doing an overview of the Sakura merchandise from both the Disney store and the Tokyo Disney parks. Be sure to stay tuned and watch for that video. But this is a preview of the Tsum Tsum merchandise. Duck butt for the win. I love that he has a Sakura on his butt. There are Sakura petals scattered throughout his entire face and body. As such. I'm gonna put him right next to the Kafun Tsums. And that's all I have to share with you for this haul from the Disney store. I'm pretty happy that we're wrapping up this video because I hear construction just starting to pick up again, and there's this really loud jackhammer. I don't know if you can hear that, but that has been going on for a couple of hours now, and it looks like they're starting back up again. I have a lot more haul videos lined up, so I hope you'll come back here and stay tuned for those. Quite a few of them are merchandise from Tokyo Disney Resort, so if you're interested in those things, please check back soon. If you'd like to support me, a thumbs up is always appreciated, and I hope you'll subscribe and hit that bell. Thanks so much for sharing your time with me, and I'll see you in the next video.